One man is lost in the fog. His friend brings a torch in the night. They walk arm in arm through the dark, guided by one man's sight. One man's sight. Some cannot walk, some cannot see, some cannot speak, some cannot hear, some cannot learn, some cannot think, but all can love, and all can feel, and all can care, and all can change, and all can learn, and all can grow. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same.
Two men were working the land, two farmers making their trade.
And while one was blind, he was still the mind behind the world's best lemonade. His lemonade. Some cannot walk, some cannot see, some cannot speak, some cannot hear, some cannot learn, some cannot think, but all can love, and all can feel, and all can care, and all can change, and all can learn, and all can grow. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same. We are equal in the same.
The children in our country are being made to be the victim of a situation they are not involved, and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem. George Washington never thought of children as pawn in the game of freedom and American values, and never had he wanted to sell them. They were from his maker, his creator. Our children are being run down for no other reason than the profits being made in some way. Somehow these government agencies make money hand over fist day in and day out. They have you go to classes that they are billing for, and there is no viable reason for you to attend. Yet when you hear an update, CPS tells you that you're further away from when you started. Reunification is your goal, not theirs. And after you go through 12+ months of grueling, painstaking classes and meetings, all while getting the slimmest amount of time to visit your child, and even worst, you are always supervised, never alone again with your child. It's awful. How do they feel, do you think?
Where is the outrage? Why is nobody standing up for these families being torn apart by CPS?
Please don't tell me you're going to put all your bets on this superhero. You grown-ups are supposed to be coming to his rescue. Stop ignoring this problem. There is nothing more I can say to any of you. Please fight CPS and help those who have lost so much they can help themselves.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Equal and the Same. I'm Henry Martaccio. It's 12/27/25, and we're going to have a real interesting night for you guys. Hello, Erica, and thank you for joining us. I hope you had a nice Christmas, and I hope everybody had a nice Christmas, given the circumstances. And I truly believe, when you're feeling down and out, if you go out and you lend a helping hand to somebody that's really and truly in need of it, you really feel good about yourself during this season. A lot going on right now. I'm confused on a few situations in my life right now. And I believe I'm no longer going to be supporting the Family Justice and Accountability Act with Francesca Amata. It's personal reasons. I have my reasons. I have my facts, and I just don't know. It's pretty saddening to me, but again, I wish her the best venture on whatever she's going to end up attempting to do. But again, I just can't take the bashing anymore of other people. We're not here fighting for all so different. We're all wanting the same thing. We want a system that's going to actually work for our children's best interests and our best interests as a family unit. Not to come in and divide us up and segregate us and make us fight each other for profits. And again, that would have been applied towards family court. But anyways, I got two very, very interesting guests tonight. I'm even sad right now from hearing the stories I just heard just 2 minutes ago, where I'm telling you right now, pull out a box of tissues tonight. Guys, we got to hammer this out. There's got to be a way that we can address our grievances with our government if the government continues to deny us. As some of you know, I was just denied the AC court, AC 48057, and they just said, we affirm the lower court. 3 judges. How can you affirm knowing that I've given you case facts from 10 training centers, the ADA itself, the DD Act of 2000, the ADA of 2008, where mandated compliancy of all people. I've given them their own documents showing that you're sending me to the EEOC. I'm not an employee of the state. Employees get accommodations. I'm seeking a modification of program services and activities. And it's not my affirmative responsibility to know where you're at with testing, where you're at with funds, where you're at with, when I said testing, meaning employees appropriately trained, should have been the words used. But yeah, it's pretty sad right now, guys. But I mean, and I'm really excited on the other hand, because I'm going to show you guys a face from the past that we haven't seen in a while. And again, she's been doing her own struggles with legal work for herself. And my good friend Danielle, if you got a chance, come on in and say hello to everyone. Can't hear you, Danielle.
Hold on. I've had to unmute. What's up, everybody? Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
How you been?
Been doing good. I'm just stressed. It's I'll tell you, when you're doing pro se, oh my gosh, it's a lot. Now I know why I never wanted to be a lawyer or a paralegal or anything.
Well, no, because that ain't fair. If you're a lawyer, you get to say, Your Honor, I'm busy. Continue this for a little bit.
True.
But when it's pro se, and like they've done to me, I got 3 active cases that all need to be briefed within the next 4 to 5 days.
Yep. And that's the way it is.
Including motions of articulation, motions. Yep. Then don't forget about the DOJ complaints, and don't forget about the follow-up. Every time you have a conversation with these idiots, you got to send them a letter saying, is it not my understanding this is what happened in today's meeting?
Right.
And
just
if
have confirmation.
Why do you think that is not discrimination? Just call them out on the platform, guys. I'm telling you the truth. We need to get a pair of brass ones and call these people out. The days of being fearful, more fearful of the system than being fearful of what is going to happen to you is crazy. It should not be that way.
Right. It shouldn't.
I didn't explain it that right, but to me, I meet so many people who are more afraid of what the system can do to them than actually having it done to themselves. Me, I've gotten to the point I don't care. whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna do.
That's
I
right.
can't stop this train.
We
And again,
can't let our emotions get the best of us. That's the biggest thing. And it's hard. It is hard because we got so many emotions going through, and especially like in our situations, we got like I got the property dispute and all this, the probate, and then my
your
son,
brother, you're
my
in Atlanta,
brother.
Georgia, the home of Olmsted, and you're gonna tell me he fell through the cracks? How the fuck does that happen?
Right. And
again,
I've
sorry
recently,
guys for my French, but this is abuse. These are human rights violations. This should be tried in an international court, not in a local state court.
well, I found some settlement agreements
Crimes
that.
against humanity.
Well, do you know, like the state of Georgia, with them violating like my brother's rights, my son's rights, and that CRIPA, and under that, like with the 88, they are already on notice by agreeing to that settlement agreement that they've already done. Right there, they start losing immunity.
You're
with,
getting
like,
it, baby. You're getting it. Their immunity's gone now. You've gotten the free pass. You got their free abuse.
And a lot of people do not realize that when they are already on notice, like when they've already agreed to something and they're still violating that, they lose that, the immunity's gone. And that's what everybody, and that's where they're not going to tell people that. They're not going to let us know that. And a lot of people
has been removed because you accepted this money. This is the only civil right in this country, guys, that is purposely being funded since 1990 to end discrimination. And it was in a variance of forms, from all the way to institutionalizing people unnecessary, all the way to not even giving them their appropriate medication that they need to be in the community.
I found 3 settlement agreements with the DBHDD down here in Georgia, with the under CRIPA with the DOJ that they agreed to, and then 2 under the 88. And they are, and the CRIPA I've never heard of until now, and it's the Civil Rights of Institutionalized Persons Act. A lot of people I've never heard of it before, but when I tell you it hits right on the nail with my son. And the stuff that he's endured. And I mean, the things that they are still going on that they have not fixed, and they've had many, many chances to fix these things.
Well, it's
and
not
now
only your son, it's also your brother that's getting screwed.
Oh yeah,
and
bro.
The worst part is your auntie's a freaking town fucking worker in the court systems. How much fraud is this?
Yeah. And
that's who. It's not about us tonight, because I want to introduce these 2 hot women that we just were introduced to. And again, they're beautiful people. I say bring them on in and let them introduce themselves to the world.
Here we go. Here's Jeannine, and let's get the other. Oh.
Tracy, where are you? Oh,
she just can't.
Can you hear me,
Jeannine? She's coming. And there's Jeannine. All right.
All right. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Okay.
All right, there we go. We got them. So what we're doing is, guys, we're having a little reverb. I don't know if you, like James or Debbie or Kelly, you can give us, you can hear the reverb. If not, we're going to shut everyone's mics off one at a time, and it'll be a slow night, but that's okay. We're still going to get the point out, guys. We're badasses. We'll work around shit if we have to.
Okay, can I say one thing about the immunity? You guys were talking about immunity. If anybody ever had a police officer show up with a CPS worker, they both give up all immunity. And people don't know that, because the social worker's not trained in police work, and the police are not trained in the social workers' work. So from the moment they knock on your door and they're together, they give up all immunity rights.
Well, they would naturally give it up because, one, they're a Title II entity that's serving the program, services, and activities of the state. And number 2 would be that the facts were, I believe it was a Florida mandate, since 2002, all police departments were effectively trained for disabilities. So again, now DCF, you're going to have to, again, go back to your state or CPS, whatever you want to call, and figure out when they got a known settlement agreement. And me personally, the only one that was in my state was a case called Raymond versus Rowland in 2008, and it hit the judiciary, Jeannie. even though you guys got a settlement agreement, my problem is a commissioner does not have the authority to sign on behalf of the state because it's going to take a whole system to autocorrect and it's going to take dollars to do it. Read in Rikers Island 2004. Why do prisoners get more rights than we do? I don't get it. But again, that's, we'll get into the arguments of case later. But again, guys, I don't know who wants to go first, but that was a nice start. You might as well keep going and tell us a little about yourself.
Oh, Tracy can go ahead and go first.
Tracy's going to make me cry. I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait on that, Chase. I'm sorry. I'm not teasing you, but man, you shattered my heart, sweetheart.
Oh, okay. So in April of 2020, I had 5 grandkids and 2 foster children from Iowa and 1 foster child from Illinois in my Illinois home. Approximately 10:30 at night, my granddaughter, who was 18 at the time, yelled, "Grandma, there's a man standing in our kitchen." My grandson, who was about 20 at the time, come running out of his bedroom when he heard my granddaughter scream. So I come out of my bedroom and here it's a police officer standing in my kitchen. He said he was there to take my 2 grandkids, Caleb and Casey. And I said, "For what?" And he said, "I'm taking them." And my grandson stepped up and said, "No, you're not." He pulled his gun on my grandson, called in 4 or 5 other people, took Casey and Caleb out of my bed, put them in an ambulance, and took them from Illinois to Iowa for drug testing. He then called Illinois CPS and told them he removed the children from a heroin party. So CPS came and took Caleb and Casey based on the officer's testimony. So this was in April. My son got pulled from April to September 8 times off his job for random drug testing, which he passed every time. Approximately September 5th of 2020, the state attorney looked at my son in the hallway and said, "You know what, Anthony? We're going to go ahead and play this game, this foster care game, for 18 more months, and then I'm going to adopt your children." My son came to me on September 7th, and he said, "Mom, have the kids come out. I want to talk to them, my other grandkids." So the other grandkids that were there with me come out, and he told my grandson, Devin, "No matter what in Devin, the most important thing in your life is Miracle. Always take care of her, always make her first." He says, "I know, Uncle Tony, don't worry about it." My granddaughter was there, and he looked at her and he goes, "Well, you little bitch, you know how it goes." They always talk like that to each other. She was 18 at the time. And then he told everybody he loved them, and he looked at me and he says, "Thanks for being my friend, Mom." And I said, "Anthony," he says, "Mom, I'm okay. I'm going to go to Freeport and watch a movie with a friend." I said, "Anthony, get back here." He says, "Mom, I can't live without my kids. I need to get away." He looked at me and smiled his smile. I said, "Anthony," and he just waved goodbye. And 7 o'clock in the morning, I got a call. He killed himself.
Oh my God, sweetie, come on. I am so sorry.
And so I've, been fighting for the kids for 5 years. I went to court 132 times in 5 years. I filed federal lawsuit. It got thrown out. The officer did nothing wrong by walking in my house. CPS did nothing wrong by keeping the kids. The whole thing got thrown out of court. then my grandkids are
And the judge
native.
actually wrote that. They actually wrote that there was no violation of your rights walking into your house on.
Yes, the Iowa judge did. It's a federal course. You can look up Camp versus Kane. And
Is there any case numbers for that too, or do you happen to know them off the top of their head so that people would have easier?
yeah, I do have it. Just a minute, baby.
Hello, my little friend. You remember me, the big ugly guy? Blah, 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 blah. Did Grandma ever give you Zach Browser? ZAC Browser, guys. Look it up for your children. Put it on your phone. It's a great interactive tool for younger kids. Hey there, my friend. How are you, cutie? Was Santa good to you? No, she's not going to talk to us tonight. I can't hear. We don't have you on the volume. Did she get muted somehow?
Yeah, she said she got lots of presents.
Oh, beautiful.
Don't
now I can hear you. You're the highlight of our night, sweetheart. Trust me on this.
You're a second.
Not
I'm trying to get my notebook. Miracle. Never mind, I got it.
Now, is she your granddaughter of your son who passed away?
No. I went to court last week and they completely demolished me.
State court or federal?
State. Well, the case, which I just found out, got transferred to Alaska because that's where the tribe is at.
So you're dealing with Indian laws too? Indian laws?
Yeah.
How can a judge as a state cop, a town cop, or a whatchamacallit, CPS, they don't have jurisdiction over Indian people, I thought. Danielle, if you're talking to us, I can't hear you.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have jurisdiction over Native children. That's the tribe actually has jurisdiction over the children, but CPS in Illinois will not release them from their custody. And I said, if you have jurisdiction, then CPS does not have the right to keep them.
And guys, this is my problem. Here it is, a truthful, willful constitutional violation right now, right off the top of the bat, and you cannot find ACLU anywhere. You would think that they would be all over this in a minute flat. Where are they? Instead, they want to protect the rights of a 10-year-old wearing a pink tutu. It makes no sense to me.
Right.
Well, the thing is the native laws, they don't know, the natives do not even have to be blood related to the children. The ones who's claiming the children are relatives of relatives of relatives. So they're the Tokiak tribe, and the children aren't associated with the Tokiak tribe at all. But any tribe, there's 552 tribes in the United States that can claim any native child in the CPS system.
And
which a lot of people don't know that. But I do have the case number for the one that I did file. Okay. Did you want that?
No, it'd be for people to find it because I think people would be interested in reading it. And again, I'm interested. So I would think that, again, you could be helping somebody that is, again, has, I believe it's down to 1/16 Native American would be in your bloodline to be considered protected. The reason why I use that number
it's 0.4.
In the state of Connecticut, we have Mohegan Sons or Foxwoods, and my friend, he belongs to them because he's 1/16, and they were saying that when his kids now, it's too watered down for them to get a payout That's all I know. I don't know the benefits. I just know it was about receiving a check from Foxwoods or Mohegan Suns when it all started 20 years
Well,
ago.
that's not true. It only has to be 0.04%.
Oh, so it's less than
As long,
1/15th. Okay.
yeah, as long as they have their tribal papers.
Wow.
So, the case number is 2-CV-10007-CJ-KEM.
Okay. And again, my interesting thing would you say to people if you're going through the same thing as Jeannie, then I would turn around and take a read at what she's filed, and again, use it against the government. And again, the reason why I'm saying that, use it against the government. Why can't we take all these cases that are blatantly on their face discriminatory and then filed together to show that there is no um, uh, recourse or rights to address grievances to our governments? It's
Because
crazy.
in the court system, you can't file a class action suit unless the outcome is the same for everybody, which is either death or injury of the same kind. And there's no defined injury that can be defined for each or every person, because every person's traumatic experience is different. It's
Mhm.
at different levels. It causes mental psychology breakdowns. It causes physical breakdown. My husband was the first one in the state of Iowa that he had died from broken heart syndrome from when they took the first set of our grandkids, which I got back. I beat CPS in court. I beat them in 2012 and
Wow. I am
got
just
my
so sorry.
grandkids back.
So I
So
have a friend who's a mulatto, okay, and she believes that the government is targeting mulatto people now because of the genetics that are found within them, and this is why you're seeing a lot of CPS going after mulatto people. And she's very light skinned, and again, she says it's a curse. It's a curse because again, they are doing research and studies on these kids that because it's supposedly even the Bible or what they're considered the hybrid race of our species. And again,
are you talking about African American and white, or are you
yes,
talking about
or it could be
Italian?
Caribbean white, or it could be it's a mixture.
Okay,
Um,
because I know in the Italian phrase of the mulattoes, that's
Melungeon?
very true. It's
Melungeons?
very true. Their blood is
Maled-
very rare. They call it golden blood.
what are you
And my
saying,
husband
Danielle?
was one of those.
What?
There's mulatto, and then there's Melungeon, because I've that in my family. I've found, like, my mom did like ancestry and stuff, and that's what I've discovered in my family history, like the Melungeons. Whereas on my papa's side, like that was in like my mom's side of the family, and I didn't know if
Yeah,
maybe that are they the same thing, mulatto and Melungeon, or are they
I
different?
don't know, but again, Tatiana swears that's why they went after baby Carly.
oh
You know,
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
again,
it's
that was the whole point of baby Carly,
yeah,
her kidnapping.
okay,
Because
it's
Yeah,
it's
like
sick.
it's not relieving the people of neglect or abuse. If there is no neglect and abuse, then it's legal kidnapping. Period. And
my husband's blood, I think, was like RH factor A negative or something. They had to get his blood when he needed a transfusion from Texas and California because it was so rare.
wow, wow. Hey Trace, you want to talk now? Because you're sitting there quiet. I can't take it no more. Throw her on. Let's have a little reverb. You good to go, Trace?
Okay. Well, I don't know where to start.
Well, you can start with your name. Hi, I'm Tracy. Welcome to our meeting today.
Hi, I'm Tracy. I don't know. I got a complex case, but it's okay. We got this. We're all still alive. Um, to sum it up, just I'm taking on CPS and the juvenile court system at the same time due to CPS, and they're destroying families. How it trickles down, and it don't stop destroying families. Um, they admitted in 2017 a little girl died in foster care in my daughter's arms. They had my son at Disneyland. They had the girls locked in the house by themselves. The foster son kicked the little girl that died, and she ended up dying. My daughter tried to save her life but couldn't. Um, I got DHS to admit in 2020 that they should have took my kids, reunited us, did all my motions, my pro ses, all this thing I had to do. Um, my daughter, she probably will never be a normal individual. She'll
Typical, we
be
call
her
them.
normal.
Right.
She she's institutionalized. My son, he was forced to help with the abuse on these girls. There was 5 family members involved in the abuse. My son was forced to help with the abuse. He was my younger son. He was my daughter's baby brother, or to save him from getting abused as bad. Um, I ended up moving back to Iowa in 21 to do the reunification and to do all the footwork for my kids, and to let them know that I'm here, the truth, the lawsuits, the filing of this, the doing that. And in the meantime, I didn't think of the trickling effects it would have on my 2 younger boys who, miraculously, when they lied and said my daughter was molested by somebody that did not molest her, my boys' behaviors kind of trickled, and they went to the left. Well, now I have to take on juvenile courts because my son really is struggling with the fact of all this, being reunited, not understanding what happened, why his siblings was here, why he could talk to them, why they can't, why, it's just hard for him. So he chose the bad way, and he made some mistakes like we all have, and unfortunately, juvenile courts in Jasper County, who thought, she didn't play with Polk County, but she'll play with us, decided not to do anything, they did any type of mental health help. I tried to get him. DHS was supposed to provide all this. I did all this on my own. Nothing was working. It's to the point now where my son is where he needs to be. It was a matter of time. The fact that the county attorney didn't do her job. She let him off of a lot of assaults, a lot of stupid misdemeanor crimes because of his mental health. Well, you can't use that. Help him. Don't blow it aside. His mental health came because you guys caused it. When you brought other kids back into our life. My kid never had mental health problems before. He never.
And he
Never
would be
had mental health
qualified
problems
under
before.
the ADA because more than 6 months of the prima facie test, right? That's the number one thing. 6 months, you have a disability.
Yep.
I have a question.
Well, it's all right now.
Underneath your, wait a minute,
Huh?
because you sat there and said to me, your son is struggling with this. Now, again, through the effective like schools, if you were to teach somebody with a disability, somebody has to be teaching your son appropriately in interpreting what has happened here to him. And has the government stepped up to that through the association rights that he has to your daughter?
No.
That's the first thing I would be screaming personally. And I'd be looking at effective training of like, just for model reasons, the IEDA, because like when you have goals and objectives, you set a mark. Like Nathan, he would have considered mastered the goal by 90%. But if it was in something new we were introducing, you got to at least get 75% understand comprehension. So again, how are they rating their effective service to him and trying to teach him how and why this happened to him and his family?
They have done nothing that I have them recorded that they told me they was going to do. They've done nothing but put it in my hands and told me to figure it out, which I've done the best I could and I'm not stopped. We're going to figure it out.
That would definitely be a DOJ. I would be filing a
the
complaint.
DOJ's
Then I
been
would be
aware.
going. Then I would be going to HHS OCR, filing it underneath the 504 because it's an educational purpose. They're there for an educational purpose. Period. There is no reason for these people to be in our lives. They make up these fake bullshit and they come at us and they say, "Oh, you got to learn how to be better." Teach me.
Right. What? I don't understand how those people that had my 2 kids are any better than me. I mean, who thinks it's okay to rape, starve, and torture little girls?
In their care.
In their care. And they had a state licensed daycare that 90% of the daycare kids was DHS workers' kids. That's why the abuse got swept under the rugs. They was turned into turned into DHS over 100 times. Over 100 times.
Say ombudsman? Were you about to say the ombudsman?
Yeah, the ombudsman will not listen to my
Listen,
story.
they have no authority. That's the biggest fucking joke in the world is an ombudsman.
I see that now. I learned that.
They have no authority.
I learned that
and
the
when you
hard
sit there
way.
and you ask for them and you talk to them, you go up their asses because again, they are only there to facilitate a service. When I say to you, let's just say an X-ray costs $50 and they want to charge you $200 because you're disabled, they're there to get involved to say no, you can only charge $50. They don't really have the authority, but they are mandated to point out who's the designated responsible employee to file a complaint of discrimination, of lack of program, services, and activities.
There's a few things because Tracy does have the post-traumatic stress disorder. There's a few details that she's left
And again,
out.
over 6 months, you're qualified. If she's had it for 6 months, they cannot deny her the protection.
Well,
they have
right,
to
I
modify the
understand
services that will be appropriately tailored to her needs and understanding and length and skill of ability to learn new adaptive procedures. Because that's what we do all day long, guys. Procedural. You wake up in the morning, you wake up, you go to the bathroom, you go upstairs, make your coffee, you make breakfast, you put your clothes on. It's a procedure. We live our lives as a procedure every day.
These people that Tracy's talking about that has mentally and physically damaged her children so bad had over 30 children in their home through foster care. They received over $1.3 million in the years that they did foster care and adoptions.
Oh, fuck this. We got to hammer them international courts.
Google the Sabrina Ray case.
You got a case number for everybody?
For Sabrina Ray, she's the one who died.
Sabrina Ray?
Yeah, Google the Sabrina Ray case. She's the girl that died.
But the boy that kicked her down the steps only got 5 years and only served 3.
Oh, he's out walking the streets now.
I know. He's panhandling on the corners in Des Moines, Iowa.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm
No.
not. That's why I won't go to Des Moines.
Now I want to say something to you. Ray means God sent.
Well,
What?
they ain't too God sent.
Nathan was oh God. No, Ray of Hope. That's what it was. God sent. Nathan is God sent, and his middle name is Ray. According to his mother, she named him that way because he was a ray of hope.
And their daycare was Ray of Sunshine.
Ray of
Yeah,
Sunshine.
and
And
that's
and they was abusing daycare kids as well. They was just sexually abusing them.
they
And
were
then the
making the
daycare kids was
children,
also hearing the abuse on the foster girls. My
they were
daughter, when they
making,
removed my daughter from me, she was a week before she was 3. She weighed 43 pounds and was potty trained. Knew most of her colors and almost knew how to spell her name. Knew how to, could talk, but not, could talk like a normal 2.5, almost 3-year old.
Right.
When they rescued her, she weighed 23 pounds. She was in diapers. No food, no water, no access to food, water, toilet, or nothing. They had him locked in the basement with blacked out windows.
Guys, we have a case like this right now. He's almost a 30-year-old gentleman. He's been locked in his upstairs bedroom for 20 years by the stepmother. The real mother had no contact. The state had no interaction. Neighbors seen him in the windows every day and they didn't wave and, like, you know what I mean? And like, go, hey, how come your kid doesn't come out of the house or something like that? And again, they found him in a shit environment, 85 fucking pounds. How about that one? It's nuts what they do to people with disabilities. And again, they get away with it. This is the biggest ongoing abuse still to this day. And they just changed it from a fancy
Well,
word of institution. And they say, oh, no, look, he's in
well,
the community. He's in a
do
home.
in the institutions, like where my son was, they won't even let, like what she was saying about like the bathroom situation and stuff. They even lock these kids out of the bathroom. My son would have to poop
Yep.
on a floor to go to the
Yep.
restroom.
Yep,
And
that
so,
was Mansfield Training Center, Connecticut.
and,
It took
and
16
Devereaux,
years to get that federal decision. They were abusing people in Mansfield. They were supposed to shut down Mansfield, and they were shut down. What the other one is? It's down in Greenwich, Connecticut, and it's a
is
very
it Devereaux?
what?
Devereaux?
No,
Devereaux's a bad one. That's where my son
Mansfield,
went.
and I'll think of it in a minute. But anyways, that one's still open. We still got 100 clients in there. A nurse made $400,000. How is that fucking possible? A nurse makes $400,000.
It's crazy that they just, with the kids that are in the institutions and the ones that are in the foster homes getting abused, they just want to look past that, but they want to call us bad parents or say we're unfit or we're uncooperative. See, but that the kids aren't gonna lie about this stuff. I'm
I
sorry,
like
my
that
son.
word uncooperative. Be more detailed and be specific on my charges, please.
Right, but
That's
that's
how
what
you got to be with these people. And
that's their
again,
favorite word is uncooperative.
yep,
If you try to like don't comply with them, they say you're uncooperative and
right.
that you're what was the other word? I thought it started with an F. I'll have to look. I got it. That's why I made that little devil went down to Georgia thing, and it's in there. They say you're uncooperative or something else, or you're just unstable, and it's mentally unstable is what the other one is. That's their favorite ones.
Yeah.
Like
Or
just because,
you're
yes,
hostile. I'm
they
hostile.
did that to me.
You're fucking with my kid and I'm hostile.
They did that to me last week. Now, what they did is, I was only allowed to answer yes or no. So I have never had an alcoholic drink, never did drugs, never tried marijuana. The question presented to me was, have you ever sought help for your alcohol and drug addictions? If I answer yes, it means I admit that I have a drug and alcohol problem. If I said no, then it shows that I'm not responsible enough to have custody of my grandkids because I never sought help for my drug or alcohol problem. I said, I have, and that's all I got out. And the judge said, contempt of court, yes or no. I was not allowed to say, I have never had an alcoholic drink or did a drug in my life. So then he said he had my mental health records and they showed I had a mental illness. First of all, I never signed any papers for anybody to get my mental health records. Second of all, I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I have a mental injury, not a mental illness. I was not allowed to say that because that was another contempt charge. So at the end of the day, in court records, it shows that I have a drug and alcohol problem I never sought help for, and I have a mental illness. When I left the courtroom, I called my doctor. She set up an appointment with a psychiatrist and did a full mental eval on me. And then I'll go back for an IQ test. And then we're going to proceed from there. I got 2 native chiefs, Indian chiefs, whatever you want to call them, that are helping me file under their laws and under the white man's laws.
Beautiful.
So we will get him suspended from the bar, and we will file against the judge also.
Awesome. We would love to see that paperwork when it happens, kids, because the more people you could help and the more you could spread your word about what you've done in your case. And if it applies to them, they have to use their intelligence and use it, the information we give them. And again, guys, this is only educational. We're not attorneys. We're fighting ourselves just like everybody else. And again, what may work for us today, you should know. And what doesn't work for us, you should know. Not to go down that same road. Or
well, this is crazy.
Amplify it.
I'm trying to fight the white man's court, and I'm trying to fight the native court. And then I got LSSI, and I got help at home, and CASA workers. They all have different rules, regulations. But you know what? Not one of them have a law because it's not illegal.
I have a CASA out of Ohio. She was passing the exam to be a CASA as they stripped her of her child for no fucking reason.
Yep.
In a family court. So when you want to meet Mickey, no problem.
Mm-hmm. But there's no laws in family court because it's not a legal entity.
It's not even a civil court. It's not even a court.
Right.
It's guys, to me, I look at politics now that I've been up at the Capitol advocating for autism and autism services, parents' rights, the whole 9 yards, hold judges accountable. It's the biggest show on earth. It is living and breathing and everything. When you sit in there inside the courtroom, just sit there and look. It's a skit. It's a freaking procedural skit that these people go through. That's all it is. We're nothing to them.
Right. And I shouldn't really say I'm fighting the natives because I'm not. I'm working with them. But they want the kids to go to Alaska to the reservation, and I don't want that.
That's bullshit. That's the bullshit part. Where, again, my opinion is, underneath the ADA, is that they should be kept in their environment that they've been trained for. So wrong. You can't relocate them. They just like all this family reunion shit that they make you go to their facilities. That is not a natural fucking environment for the child. Period. You cannot tell me that this is any beneficial or health beneficial. Now, if you want to see me and my child interacting, let's go to a park. Let's go to an amusement park. Let's go do swimming or boating or an activity, bowling, something that's an activity that you would have normally done in your family day.
Yeah. And like Tracy, she had to take her boys that had no idea anything about the system into facilities to see their siblings. And that did a lot of emotional damage.
No therapeutic to them. There is no, and again, you're supposed to understand this at a young age. And worst
Right.
is if we tell them the truth, then we're blamed for being pieces of shit and ratting on them, making them to be the bad guy. Well, the shoe fits, wear it.
And
Exactly.
Tracy, I want to ask Tracy about if your kids were in an institution setting, were they? And what kind of I'll unmute you. What kind of effect did it have on them? Because with my son, he was not himself. I mean, is that your daughter that you were discussing earlier about? Was she in the, there you go. Let me mute.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. When they removed them from me, my kids was perfectly fine, on target. Never in the institution, nothing. When I got reunited with them, it was painfully peaceful. Is the best way to put it. But I promise you, guaranteed, it's not nothing. Any individual, I don't care how old you are. You can be 2, you can be 102. You are not ready to hear what me and my boys had to hear. Ever. Nothing can prepare you for that. There's no preparing.
And I want to correct you, because if they're not with you or they're not with your relative, which would be a natural setting, they are in an institutional setting.
Right now, I have my 2 youngest. Well, my youngest, he is right now, he is in a mental health institution because he got kind of bad because it got little much for him.
Yep.
Okay, that and some other situations that was going on.
I wouldn't even use
My
the word
other 2
mental
that
health.
was rescued, they have came for home visits. However, the torture chamber, I will never call it a home because that's not a home. What they endured in that torture chamber, they believe that's what every home is. So therefore, my daughter made false allegations against my boys because she was abused by all the boys in her home. Not sexual allegations, physical, but still because she was abused by all the boys. And when she did that, I knew then I could not subject my 2 younger ones to no more trauma up close and personal. I had my daughter every weekend. They have my daughter on 30 different medications.
Wow.
She is on 30 different medications.
Wow. And it's again cognitive medicines too.
Well,
Everything
her daughter,
cognitive, physical, vitamins. My
her
daughter
daughter had
was
never
she's
been in a
got to
public
take
school.
medicine because she had to have her bladder lifted twice back into place because of the abuse.
That's crazy. And no doctor would say that's happening now, huh?
No, they're saying it's not happening now. And every time a doctor would turn them people in before, they would up and move, and DHS would just sweep it up under the rug. A foster kid fought the adoption. One told the people what he heard and saw, so they didn't let the people adopt, but yet they did not remove none of the kids, nor did they shut down their daycare.
That is nuts.
Um,
And of course, you like Connecticut, you can't get anyone from the news to support your
I
like
have had my
investigation.
story. The Perry newspaper has done my story. Channel 8 News here in Des Moines, Iowa has done some of my story. I've done podcast. I've done America's Deadliest Sins.
Wow.
I've done a lot. I've done CBS News.
Are you following Kathleen Arthur?
Yes.
What does she have to say?
I just started following her not too long ago.
Okay, I would, and again, if Kathleen, we're praying you're listening, give us some relief because I'm sending you stuff about the fraud in Connecticut, about Title 4E, D, and B funding. It's
Tracy
crazy.
and I just joined the revision team for Title IV funding.
Yes, we did.
Well,
Not
send me
only am
that
I
link.
taking on Polk County in Iowa, I'm taking on Jasper County in Iowa as well.
And are you
Because
looking?
Polk County is trickling down.
Are you guys looking for recruits from your state?
Right
Or
now, it's
Yeah,
just
well-
me and Jeannine.
Well, how would people get a hold of you guys if they ever wanted to get a hold of you? They can find you
Oh,
on Facebook or something.
I have Iowa Family Preservation Project,
And I have
we
parents.
are,
Go ahead, Jeannine.
and we have right now about 900 people in there. And so we're going to do the suggestion group and things like that to get more input for the revision of the Title IV E program. But our group is the one who introduced President Trump in 2015 to the Title IV funding and the fraud in that. And he said that he would do the revisions that we gave him. And when he became president, a lot of those revisions that he did and he renamed for the Family Safe Act in 2018 and put that into place. And we have stayed in contact with him throughout the years. And then when he wasn't president, we still stayed in contact with Senator Grassley. We worked real close with over the years. And it's just I had to take a break after the death of my son. And I wanted to make sure that I was capable of concentrating on the changes we need before I step back in. And I feel now, and Tracy feels now, that she's capable. And
I also had to step back. I have Parents Are Pissed, We Are Coming. I have that page as well. That's one of my pages, yes. And I had to step back from my other two kids and deal with my two youngest ones.
What was the name of the group again? We're parents and we're pissed and we're coming?
No, Parents Are Pissed, We Are Coming.
I gotta, does everyone got that as an email? I would love to use that one.
I do.
You guys are beautiful. I mean, hey, in Jeannine, that would be 900 people from your state, or is that other state people are allowed to join in too?
oh no, it's from all over. We have senators, congressmen, doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists. We have teachers that specify in ADHD, autism. It is a whole community of people that each have changes that
Guys,
they'd like seen.
Do you mind if we work Danielle right now? Danielle, put all this stuff up in the chat box so everybody's got it, because this sounds like a serious game changer for people with disabilities. And again, this is what you typically find in these systems and this money are people that are perceived with disabilities or have disabilities. And I don't care what it is. Like she said, it's a gamut from ADHD all the way down the line.
So I was writing it down. So, Miss Jeannine, what was the name of yours? It was in Iowa what? And it's on what platforms is it on? Or how
Iowa
can they?
Family Preservation Project. It's on Facebook group.
Iowa Family Preserve. Okay. And that's how people can find you? It's on Facebook? Okay.
Yep.
And then let me ask, and I will put this in the chat definitely. And then let me get and Tracy, where was yours? What was the name of yours? Where can we
Parents Are Pissed, We Are Coming.
find you at?
Yes. I also have Alicia too now helping on our side.
Yeah, she said, don't forget about her in the chat box, ladies. I don't know if you're watching the chat, but
I seen that, dude. She's
people
right
are
there
like,
with
oh, she's a
me.
badass. She's a badass. All of us are. We're coming together for a reason. And it's not about us. It's about telling our stories and getting it so it doesn't happen to another parent.
And parents are pissed we are coming is all one word. I did not mean to make it one word, but it turned out one word.
And is that on Facebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Okay.
for my Canadian friend John, which, hello, John, I saw you in there earlier. And hello, Brenda, we see you. Thanks. Keep pounding it out, honey. But John's from Canada, and I believe there's a lot of problems with Canada, and they're looking down to America to see what our policies and procedures are and try to apply it to their situations up there. So is it okay to people from Canada join in? Because I know we got people from around the world actually. I'm not sure, but people want to always know what America's doing. So
What did you say, Henry? What did you say again? I missed that.
John from Canada, you know how he watches us, and then I believe you have medical kidnapping, which they say they're out of California, but they're really a Canadian group. So there's a lot of people on this medical kidnapping aspect, and that's what I'm calling it, guys. It's medical kidnapping for profit. Everyone hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So
I do.
again, look at this. John says, yes, Henry. So you guys are going to have a new guy named John. He won't share the poutine in, which if you guys don't know what that is, that's French fries and gravy and cheese, and they throw good meat in it. All them Canadians, they know how to eat. So, but yeah, I mean, it's all good stuff, guys. I mean, what can we do? I mean, how can we break this system down? Besides having and begging Donald Trump to do an executive order, which would now stand if Congress and the president changes, they can go back to the old feeding troughs, because this is clearly what it's about. You know, the money has
We need to get 4 or 5 funding out of there.
right.
We need to get all that stuff about, like, there's so much that needs done. The
Collapse
federal government is
systems.
not going to help because they help provide money to the states.
Collapse
Come
the
on now.
system. And if
What I
you're
have
a
done
state worker,
is when a person gets wrapped up in CPS, CPS is saying that person is not stable enough to take care of their children. So we go to Social Security and we apply for disability based on the state's recommendation that they are not capable of taking care of themselves and their children. It automatically qualifies them for disability, because what CPS will do is put you in all these classes. You can't work, you can't sleep, you become dysfunctional. And so if they have the Social Security income, which then qualifies them for Medicare, Medicaid, and food stamps, then what can the state say? Because it also qualifies them for HUD. So you use all the federal programs to make that family stable, so the state has no authority behind them to say there's no income, there's no food, there's no housing, there's no employment. And that has worked with about 20 of my clients.
well, you do know since '99, CMS has given money to each state to address the Olmstead decision. That means the emptying of the institution. They were supposed to expand those community waivers just for the disabled. But the situation I find today, it's not happening. They actually turned it into IDASH money. And what they're doing is they're giving it to the builders of these complexes. And they say, oh, 25% of the disabled can live with the typical. And that would be good enough for us to meet our mandates. It's just totally ran by the arc. of Connecticut, which again is a management company and making money. It's crazy to me what's going on. We can't even get in Connecticut. Our judiciary has shot down co-decision making. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, or support decision making. Okay, so in my opinion, it is all unconstitutionalized for somebody to say, "Oh, you got a disability, you ain't worthy of making your decisions." No, we know that once we strip a person of all decision rights and making, it's an institution. That's why I refer to you, Tracy. Don't call it a home. It's an institution. Your kids cannot
Right.
come and go. The only people that are allowed in there are the staff and the members. So
But if the federal government denies Social Security because these people are not unstable, they are able to take care of themselves, then they have the federal papers to take into CPS court and say, I want my children back, and they will get them back. So either way, the state loses when they start their
you're you're familiar
mental.
with you. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're finishing your sentence. I've got something to tell you that's so good. Finish your sentence.
When they start to mess with people's minds and their mental capabilities, they have no foundation for it. Once we go to Social Security and people are turned down, then they have to give them their kids back because the federal government's saying that they have no issues. And if they do have issues, it's caused by CPS.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they have to provide another reason why they can't have their children back. And they end up with the HUD housing, the Social Security, the Medicaid, and the food stamps, which makes their house stable. So they make them poor. So they still rely on the government. However, they have their children back and everything they need to maintain.
And because you're taking government services now, that means the government can come knock on your door. But the whole point is, I want everyone to look up 1938 Social Security Act, and you want to look at the purpose. Look at the purpose. The purpose was to keep an intact family in a single mother situation and give her the skills to join into the workforce community, or give the ability to get remarried. Now, again, when we look at this 75 years later, we see less than a quarter of a percent of that funding is to keep a family intact. And what we're seeing is now the funding is being used to segregate and separate and give profits to their friends that own these companies. I call it hobnobbing friends because they all go to the same hobnobbing parties. Oh, we're pro kid. Oh, you look at us. Like the Children's Law Center, the number one donator on them, and wherever she went was Avery Whetstone, which happened to be my judge. And the Children's Law Center refused my son as a GAL his ADA rights and protections. It's like insane.
In Iowa, only 5% of all funds for them for reunification.
The rest went to the profit. Because when you're feeding a kid, when you're feeding a kid like processed foods and garbage foods like you find in the convalescent homes that are being shoved down our elderly's throat. I got a friend right now in Texas. She broke her hip. And again, she's just insane going off the wall because of the food that they're giving her. And she's like, my God, this is the first place that actually gives me fresh fruit. We know how important fresh fruit is. Why are we giving canned garbage, processed garbage to all these people that are in institutional settings? It should be illegal. Food stamps were meant to be where you take the food and you bring it home and you cook for the family and build that family memory and that family integrity and teach the skills of self-sufficiency to your children. Because who best to learn from, which is DNA biologically should have exactly what you have, for weaknesses and strengths in you as your children. It's again, it's crazy. The whole system is so screwed up. And like we were talking earlier, I was surprised you said vitamins, but they are not addressing the biomedical needs of these people with disabilities, because again, they're not absorbing for some reason, or like in my son's case, he's not detoxifying. And again, it's called toxic stress. And this is where we're leading with autism. We believe ADHD. We known for 100 years sugar, processed sugars, or any sugar is like the worst thing you can ever do for your white cells in your body. It just, when does it end? I mean, we were cavemen. Do you really think we woke up with 3 hots and a cot every day? Our bodies were designed to go out hunting in the morning, scavenge, and we weren't meant to be eating these meals, 2,000 calorie meals and the whole 9 yards. Again, let's get back to what our bodies were meant to be. And then if you can support the body, it's a program in Massachusetts called the Ladders Program, where again, it's an autism treatment center. It's in Newton, Mass, I believe. It's a part of if somebody ever wants to read about this stuff, Dr. Tim Bowie, Buie, great published work, great everything about the leaky gut problem. So again, why ain't we fixing these kids? If they're craving carbs, they're craving sugars, there's a problem, but we ain't seen that in society. Am I crazy? I mean, Jeannine, you remember white bread being made every day at your house, right? How does a Twinkie last 2 years? How? And we give that to our kids every day.
What's that?
You were the time when things were canned. You remember when you were a little girl and everybody had gardens and canned? You wanted a chicken dinner, you would go out and cut the rooster's head off and have a fresh chicken dinner. And again, I'm not making this up. Where again, you got to look at the Amish study, Danielle, from 2004 out in PA. It's showing that the rates of disabilities are still nowhere near our mainstream America. Why? What are the Amish doing that are so right that they're not getting these defects like us?
Well,
Can't hear you, Danielle.
where I come from,
She's
we
unmuted. She could talk. Like I'm muted, but she can talk if she. I just want her to know that she is unmuted. I hate having to mute her. I don't like doing that. I really don't.
It's been
But she can
vaccinated.
talk.
Nobody in the audience really has complained, so leave her unmuted. I'm dealing with it, and it's all good.
yeah, we all ate from the garden and we still do. You know, my mom taught me that tomatoes were an anti-carcinogen, and the ginger, the turmeric, the coumadin,
Got
you
it.
know,
Cinnamon.
everything like that.
Cinnamon
Cinnamon
is a natural detoxifier.
and cocoa. My
Cocoa.
sister had to pay $30,000 a month for her husband to get stem cell treatments, right? And if you'd have 2 teaspoons of cocoa a day, or 2 tablespoons of cocoa a day, 75% or more, it rejuvenates the stem cells.
And that's not Nestle Quick, guys. We're talking about organic, true, bitter cocoa.
Cocoa, right?
It's got to
But
be the bitter
still,
stuff. It's got to be the old baker stuff.
right? And then apple cider vinegar.
Oh, best stuff in the world. That Nate
Yeah.
actually craves apple cider with cucumbers.
My daughter, she had 2 months to live in April. She's got leukemia and lymphoma stage 4. I put her on ivermectin and benzazole, and she went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, and the cancer tumor behind her eye, her brain, on her liver, and on her kidneys have all shrunk or disappeared.
Wow, that's awesome. And I've heard stories of people eating a raw diet, meaning anything they eat is raw. So it's raw nuts, raw berries, raw everything. And they say it's some of the best. I know somebody that had his son was lactose problems. they got fresh unpasteurized milk, which is kind of illegal. And again, there's Amish going to jail for selling it. There's an extra enzyme in there that just, what is it that it does?
Well, you got your onions that and garlic.
Now, how about this for a story? When you were a little girl, did somebody cut an onion when you were sick and put it next to your bed?
I still do that here.
They swear that detoxifies the germs. I'm not kidding you. These old myth things, even like telling your kids to go outside and play because it's good for you. There was a reason that these people knew this stuff. It's passed down.
Like the old wives'
But
tale.
now,
I love them. I love them.
but now the nutrients in the ground isn't what it used to be. So it
we strip the grounds out of our essential minerals, and what you have to do is I think it's called Isaiah or something. It's basically Alaskan minerals that you get a mineral rock, and you throw this mineral dust inside of your garden, and it supposedly replenishes the ground.
and then like your McCarracombe, people don't know that if you're low on iron and you put McCarracombe on your skin and it soaks it in, it's because of the low iron, and the McCarracombe will replace it.
I never heard of that. What is that? What is it made out of?
McCarracombe.
Yeah, well, what is it?
It replaces the iron. It lets you know your body's low on iron.
Yeah, but is it like ground pumpkin seed or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Well, ground pumpkin seed will kill parasites.
Parasites, and it gives you copper, and it gives you
Yeah, copper, zinc, magnesium, and potassium.
Yep. Well, the copper's the one factor. We're not supposed to have much, but there
Well,
is some.
your copper and your iron has to be at equal levels in order for the magnesium to properly process. And if you don't, then the magnesium and the potassium goes off balance. So you'll end up with a irregular heart rhythm and high blood pressure or low blood pressure, depending if it raises or lowers.
And you know what's killer is you look at everyone speaking over here in our list. I appreciate everyone's input. We're not crazy, guys. It's something that your mainstream doctors are no longer taught about. The basic human needs.
Oh, Dr. Eric Burr, he does all of this, and YouTube actually silenced him. You can find him on Facebook, but he's on another platform now. And he's been doing it for like 25 years, but now they're really taking notice of him. And YouTube has silenced him, so he's no longer on YouTube.
I was a fan of Dr. Oz. If Dr. Oz, I was scanning through the TV and it's 4 o'clock and I happened to catch him, he was there, I would listen to what that guy's saying, because, man, we've given up on a whole different type of society, and again, natural. Danielle, yes, you're right. That was you that wrote it, right? But anyways, I don't know. I don't know where we're going to head. I mean, I feel as a parent, we're good at ripping out hearts. We're good at putting in kidneys, but really understand the metabolical needs of our bodies, and even understanding that when you're driving down the street and you see a horrendous accident, the first thing that happens to you is your stomach goes south. Then you react. You fight with your husband, or something bad happens in your life, your stomach goes south and your eating habits are. So what is the link between our mind and our gut? Because again, Nathan, I've just recently started folic acids with him, and again raises vitamins through the roof on zincs and D's and B6. He was really low on B6, and I'm seeing a response from my child. But yeah,
I started paying attention when I had been taken to the hospital for passing out with fast heart rate, and it ended up that I was low on potassium and magnesium.
They say
But then,
magnesium contributes to migraines.
yeah, then I found out when they hooked me up to that IV, and it was 9,000 milligrams of sodium. They
What?
regulate your heart by putting 9,000 milligrams of
That,
sodium into your body.
the IV fluids, is that what you're talking about? Like when
So,
they put the IVs in you?
Right.
yes,
Uh,
yes, to regulate
that's
your heart.
mhm.
And because they say salt's not good for you, that's not true. You have to have the salt, and it's not sea salt. I'm talking about table salt with iodine in order to keep your heart regular. And the
Why would
first
you
thing they
need
do when you go in with a heart condition,
wait. You're saying white salt?
yep,
Huh. You're
when
the
the
first one
first
I
thing
ever
you
told
do,
that white salt was actually good for you.
yes, well, you get the table salt with iodine.
Because I thought
But the
table
first
salt
thing
was
they do when
highly
you have heart,
processed heavy metals, the whole 9 yards. Just like you're supposed to be having the Himalayan pink salt there for the essential minerals. And
yeah,
again,
that's true, but if you use pepper, pepper intensifies all those nutrients by 2,000%.
isn't that goofy? I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just simple little things you got to change.
Tracy, can we bring you into this? Because I want to hear more stories about you and your situation. Because it struck me earlier, and we were in the back room, guys, meeting each other. And Danielle had something to give you as a link, which I think you need to hear that. What Danielle was saying. Remember about? I think it was the SARS or the Sears.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Talk to us, Danielle.
Well, let Tracy talk, and then I'll talk. Let
Okay,
Tracy talk. Yeah, because she
Tracy, tell
hadn't.
the story to the audience on some more on you, so Danielle can jump in with a tip.
Well, I don't know. I just I'm my kids are connected to the worst case of child abuse in Iowa history. At the hands of foster care. Um, we've we're making it through it slowly. It's a process. It's a long process. Um, getting getting through and getting to know my daughter is the hardest part. My son is not as traumatized as my daughter from it, but he is traumatized. Now, I do have two younger boys that DHS never took. And I was pregnant for my oldest boy that they never took when they took these two because they know they messed up.
Uh
And
huh.
so they've never been traumatized until they got to Iowa and had to not deal with the DHS workers coming and being in their business and in their face and in this, but they had to see what in their eyes DHS and foster care that's where they send kids to die. You can't tell my boys no different.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot tell them no different. Okay. My daughter or my son that was rescued from the case, he's doing a little bit better. They both, he's not in an institution, he is in a home, but it's for an independent living home. My daughter is in an institution. Now, my youngest son is in an institution until we can figure out what they're going to do because of the mental health that they caused on him, but yet refused to help him until it was too late. And so I got one at home. I got one I'm working with, and he's going to be okay. He's going to make it out of this on top. He's going to understand, but right now it's, you know, they put me in a bind where I'm stuck between a double-edged sword. Like,
Now,
I
Trace,
have to be there for my kids that was rescued, and I have to listen no matter how many times my daughter wants to tell me her story and how many times I don't want to hear it and I can't mentally grasp it. As her mother, I will, and I'm going to. I don't have a choice. It makes me want to. I don't understand how they let so much get by for so long. And just 2, 3 months before that, another little girl in Iowa, in West Des Moines, not even 40 miles from where my daughter held Sabrina, this other little girl got starved to death too in foster care, Natalie Flynn. These cases can, and then 2 or 3 months later, a foster people in Ankeny was abusing a bunch of Down syndrome kids that
oh
they
fuck me.
adopted. Like in 2017, there was all kinds of foster care abuse coming out in Iowa. It was crazy.
I got a question. Have you engaged your Disability Rights Center?
Have I engaged my what?
Disability Rights Center?
No, but I have not. NAMI or whatever they are.
NAMI is another entity, but it should be your P&A, Protection and Advocacy, which a lot of them have changed from the name from Protection and Advocacy to, like in Connecticut, it went from P&A of Connecticut to Disability Rights of Connecticut. So they're all falling
Okay.
underneath this business entity of called Disability Rights. I'm
Okay.
asking you tomorrow morning to get in their faces and start demanding help for not only your children that are in your care, but also for the children that are in institutional settings. Because my feeling is the ADA is being totally ignored. So again,
They are.
I would be demanding that people are denying you the right to file an investigation. And who do you go to if again if you go to somebody like in Connecticut it's called uh, child advocate.
Right.
So if they're denying, but it's a disability matter because you got a program, service, and activity that's denying you accommodations for effective training, effective communication, and effective outcomes to be successful in the program, service, or activity that you are in.
As a matter of fact, I have a paper where just last month a judge denied my motion to have him to be off my son's criminal case because he was negligent with his mental health case. He's the same judge that was with his mental health case that's now on his criminal case, who knew about his mental health,
Yeah,
who let it slide, who let him keep being on the streets until he finally was able to hurt himself or someone else, you know what I'm saying? But he wouldn't do nothing. Let him keep going until it's too late. And he told me, and I put in there, you was negligent, you was prejudiced with this mental health case, you did this, and he says, I'm denying your motion.
and Danielle just threw up the Civil Rights for Institution Persons Act. And again, yes, you're right there, Danielle. Speak up, kid. We want to hear you. But that's what I would be filing some serious. And then when they tell you we don't get involved with those matters, I want you to demand to know when the next council's meeting is going to happen because you want to address the council, who should be technically the ADA Advisory Committee, because they are a federally funded program. They have to comply with the ADA themselves. They don't. So again, how is it possible that you can file a grievance about anything in the state when they don't offer the avenue to do it. So I would again encourage you to figure out what your local PA can do for you. And if not, then I would kick it up as a discrimination complaint. I want to go to your council and demand an explanation from why the council, if their affirmative obligation is to ensure the basic civil rights of people with disabilities, and how can you ignore the situation? I got a child that's being raped in care, being abused. They won money. The state stole them back because they want to racketeer the money that they're given, because you failed to tell the public this one that one person got, what did you say, 10 mil,
10, yeah.
and
My
your
daughter
daughter
got 10 million.
2.5.
Yeah, my son.
After winning that, the state came along and ripped the child out of your arms again and put them back into their care.
Yes, they did.
Is there not fraud here of service?
Yes, they did. And then convinced my kids that that it was all them.
Listen, I would really be screaming out to those people. And again, because of our situations, that we cannot hold jobs because we have to go into the courts every day, it seems like, in fight or whatever.
Yeah.
Bosses get real sick of it. And again, I was sick of it when I employed 4 guys. I was sick of it. I was sick of the government telling me I had to withhold his check, and he's a subcontractor for me
Yeah,
because his wife or ex-wife ratted me out.
exactly.
And it's again, why do I want to do this burden of work for the government all the time, collecting sales tax, doing this, doing that? But yet, when we're actually users of the system, we cannot get the benefits that Congress funds.
Right.
And again, I would look at your CMS technical manuals. I would really, on Monday morning, another call I would make, I would look for all settlement agreements done in your state. That's another thing that you can do of 2 paths. You can do it by the Disability Rights Center of the state, or I would rather do it through the Department of Justice and do a FOIA and say, I don't care if it's from a town school all the way to a police department, to the courts, to DCF. All ADA settlement agreements, I want to know, and I want to know especially the ones that are under current review. So they basically, when they do a settlement agreement, they give them like 2-3 years to transition from non-discriminatory services to from discriminatory services to non-discriminatory services.
Right.
And again, if they're still in that settlement agreement, you read the person who's the overseer, which I've called. They don't call back, but make the phone call, make the history, because you can't raise it to the federal courts as discrimination unless you've gone through all their little stupid fucking hoops.
Right.
And I got a great case for you guys to hear, Second Court of Appeals, and you can hear the judges trying to look for loopholes. And again, it's so disgusting, but nobody's seeing this as the first and foremost fact of all. Non-compliancy is discrimination. If you're not doing self-evaluations every 3 years, if you ain't doing transitioning plans for every 5 years, if you don't have a designated responsible employee to correct the system once discrimination is identified, we're all fucked.
Right.
We can't use their system. And it's again because society looks at people with disabilities. Well, you're not worthy. You don't pay taxes. You don't do this. You don't do that. You're not a productive member. So the disabled are already shunned on. And yes, that's people from post-traumatic stress. And I'm going to use my vets as a number one example. You know what I mean? That when they come back from wartime, these people are shit on. How? They didn't leave. They didn't leave the country with this stress, but they come back. I'll use another example. Firefighters. My God, how would you rip out a little baby out of a burning building or a burning car and not mentally be fucked up?
Right.
Now, what happened to your daughter? I don't even want to speak it. That's disgusting. Two bladder lifts and nobody's going to jail.
Oh, there's people in jail. There's four now that are still remaining in jail. The mom has life. The dad has 80 some years. The grandma has 25 years. And then she walked away from prison, so got another 5 years. The niece involved got 25 years. And the son involved only got 10 years and did 3 years, and he's out already. There was 5 people arrested and charged for this crimes.
The bill is take it to fifth. The carries in the House bill. Listen, I don't know anyone that's really close. I know a lot of people are claiming they're kicking their doors. I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but I walked away from the Family Justice and Accountability Act. I can't keep up the lies. I got to pay attention to my own case and my own facts, and I'll help at whatever level I can at the national level. But again, unless we take away the profits, guys, nothing's gonna fucking change.
Exactly. Exactly.
And again, I don't know how to better say it, but
Georgia is going down hard. The CPS system down here is failing bad,
and it
and
blows my mind.
there's an $85 million funding gap, but yet they can't provide mental health services or less restrictive settings for these kids instead of institutions so now they're wanting to. And now the House of Representatives down here is drilling the DHS commissioner lady because she's like, I mean, why are y'all requesting more money? No, y'all have had, but yet there's money even sitting there that's not being used. Even for the kids aging out of foster care, they didn't use. Governor Kemp denied.
They don't give them nothing.
They don't.
Listen,
They send them out of foster care with a black garbage bag and a
Right.
good luck to you.
And that's right. Because my son, turned 18 in the system, and we went out there and got him from Texas.
My
Otherwise, they
daughter
were never
turned
going to bring him back.
18. My daughter turned 18, the one that was adopted by a social worker that took her.
Oh,
She turned 18. When she turned 18, 2 weeks later, this lady, I'm going to call her a lady, okay? I'm going to be nice, bitch. Put my daughter on a Greyhound bus under an alias name, took her cell phone, and sent her to meet some man she met online.
holy
A
shit.
social worker that adopted my daughter.
No.
A social worker.
Now I don't know if it's true or not, but the rumors say in Ohio that there's a private fucking fucked up club, where they go have the funky sex and shit like that. And it's all GALs and judges, and guess who their victims are?
Kids, the foster kids.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
You know what? My mind went that way when it happened. It did.
I got a friend that's putting her finger on it, and she's actually afraid of the information she's got now. Because again,
and then not even 2 months later, I find out on the news in a whole nother state about my other kids being in the worst case of child abuse in Iowa history.
I still say you ought to rattle the cages of because what my feeling
I've
is.
been rattling them.
No,
Jeannine?
the Disability Rights Center of your state. Because what my feeling is, and if you want help with that, I have no problems. But I did when I minimized you guys. I went and looked, and I can't make heads or tails of it. But it's the Northeast ADA Training Center, and then you have the Great Lakes Training Center. You want to go underneath their legal seminars and start getting some effective training, guys. I'm serious. It's worth it, these hour modules. But what's great about it is you don't have to. You can just really look at their slide PDFs, I guess you would be. And again, it can show you objective of it and give you some case law and quick. But it's nice listening to them because a lot of these centers will be like two lawyers and debate it, a little bit of the facts. of the right. And I don't know. I would reach out because again, justice without limits. I think it is. .org is another great ADA training place. I follow and I happen to like them. Is understanding the ADA. He's Gordon Williams. He's another great person that I would really, because your arguments are lying within the ADA. And I'm sorry, but the ADA is very similar to the Indian Welfare Act, where we have to provide the essential tools, methods, whatever you want to call it, roof, housing, to have program success of this class of people. They cannot keep suppressing and denying. And I get the Indians. I believe we should be paying rent to every Indian tribe in this country, just like Canada does. Right, John? Weigh in on that one. You know? I just don't know what else to say, guys. It's so terrible out there. That how is Congress not taking videos like this as truth of affidavits and saying, let's stop this? Because again, it should not be going on at the rate it's going on. But yet everybody puts a blind eye and says, oh, well, they're living good, or they're okay, that we got them. Nobody's investigating the truth.
In Iowa, 85% of all families are involved in CPS services.
85%.
85.
How can that be?
Because I was greedy.
If your children enroll in reduced lunches at school, they get a CPS file.
That's once you take $1 of government services, they got the right to kick in your door any day of the week.
Well, not in Iowa anymore.
They eliminated it. Well, Connecticut, for some goofy reason, wants to go now by gross on child support. And my only theory is it's because they can collect more dollars with gross than net. And again, I'm hearing stories of GAL bills being attached to as child payments. How does a GAL get paid through Title 4D? I don't get it. The parent has to pay the state, then the state has to pay the GAL. This is only raising their rates more. And again, in my case, for Nathan, he had a $55,000 a year budget for community services. They were supposed to provide CANT therapies, but anything that insurance companies weren't providing, because at that time we were still underneath the restrictions of pre-existing conditions. And what else? It was supposed to give him speech therapies and all this. The point is, even safety of the home. So like modifications of your home, like if you needed door locks with alarms or whatever. Fences, I've heard of fences being put up to keep the kids in the yard. But yet the government said, now, once you get about a third of the way into your budget, they start saying that no word.
Yep.
And again, they take that money that they're supposed to be matching the federal grant with, and that gets returned to the general fund. So I believe last year the Department of Developmental Services alone returned $50 million.
They would take the money and put these kids in less restrictive and leave them at home and provide the family with the services. They would save, and the kids would be. It would be a way better than paying people to sit with these kids 24 hours and the kids get no, and more kids are getting abused. If they would actually give the families a chance, help them get back to where they need to be, whatever they're struggling with, that's what this system was built for, and it's not being done that way at all. It's getting worse day by day.
Because in Connecticut, I understand that if you walk across the desert, and I ain't putting these people down for trying to get a better life for their family, but walking across the desert with your baby children to cross into America, then come here and say, I got no money, give me food, give me everything. But yet, us who just fall on our face, again, it goes against the whole purpose of 1938 Social Security Act. Go back to the purpose. The purpose has changed now. They use the whole thing to fund themselves.
Henry, I hate this
So
that
with
we
my
get
grandkids,
Sam show.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a minute. Do we have Sam coming on at 9:30?
Yes, I just wanted to let you
Okay.
know that.
Guys, I invite you anytime. And John, I did see that message you said, and I keep saying it any week. Anyone wants to talk the ADA, let's have a debate. That's all I'm looking to do.
And Jeannine was. I'm sorry to interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jeannine. I'm sorry.
no, it's just the state of Illinois is getting $2,800 in the death benefits for my two grandchildren. Plus,
That's
they are getting their
illegal.
title. Well, not yet. Not in Illinois.
Didn't Trump just sign an executive order, and Kennedy's on this right now, that they're saying they're aware of states grabbing the money, and it's a double billing situation, because not only are they stealing the money from the payments from the parents or living or dead, but they're also receiving payments from the federal government.
Right. So every month, the state of Illinois is getting about $4,500 a month to keep my grandkids in foster care. They have been in foster care for over 5 years.
Wow. So they're
Guys, do you know what Nathan gets off? He gets $950 a month to live. And if he has over $1,300 in his bank account, he loses all benefits.
Yep.
This is insane. But anyways, we got Sam coming on next, guys. Recap. How can people get a hold of you? Because you guys were a hot ticket. You got a lot of people pissed off tonight, which is good. Because you turn your rage.
I do need to go too, actually.
Into a fight.
So thank you for having me on, though.
Thank you for having me on. You can find me on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook or on my page.
What
and
was
what's
it
the name of
again,
your
Tracy?
group?
Parents are pissed we are coming, or follow me on Facebook. Find me on Facebook.
And your name, Tracy.
Tracy Vargas.
And
Okay.
Jeannine Eldringham, and I'm with Iowa Family Preservation Project.
Ladies,
And it's Tracy with an I.
Tracy with an I. So y'all can find them both on Facebook at Iowa Family Preservation, right? And then
Iowa Family Preservation Project. Because
So
Iowa,
Mhm.
when I was doing so much work, the state of Iowa stole the name of my group. So Iowa has Iowa Family Preservation, and I have
So you-
Iowa Family Preservation Project. I did sue them, but they were able
They
to
tried to-
keep it without the project.
Oh, that's not cool. See how they
I
are.
know, right?
hey, take the fifth. Anytime you want to come on, yes, we're all pro se litigants, and we're just trying to teach what we do, and again, try to do it as an educational purpose. We're not here to be nobody's lawyer, because my feeling is if you can't stand in front of the judge and repeat what we're saying, you shouldn't be learning what we're teaching. And
You guys have a good night. Thank you for having
again,
me on.
man, no, welcome back
Thank y'all for
anytime
coming
you
on.
want, and keep
Y'all
us
are-
abreast on what's going on.
Please.
Same with
and
you,
so-
Tracy. Anytime
Thank
you
you.
like. I really appreciate you coming on, and again, God bless you, woman.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. God bless all. Let's all
All right,
come
here we go.
together as one.
As one, we have to
United
be
we
one to
rise,
take on the
divided we
system.
fall.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
And
You
thank you
got
for
it.
coming on.
Thank you.
Enjoy your night.
You
Danielle,
too.
kick us up out of here. Everyone, thank you. Till next week. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. And again,
Bye.
take the fifth. You just got to get a hold of us, and we'll get you brought in here, man. We're always looking to have a good debate, and I do follow you on Facebook. And Again, anytime anyone who wants to get or knows somebody knows a little bit about the ADA and they want to turn around and let's get into a downright dirty
Yep.
who's right. I love that entertainment because
Yep.
if I'm wrong, I'll eat it all day long. But if I'm right, take it up the ass like a big boy. Hey, guys, enjoy your night, Danielle. You know me, batshit crazy. I'll tell it the truth and the
Look,
whole
I'm
truth.
right there. I'm right there with you.
You
So
know? And yes,
everybody,
guys, this was an affidavit of truth show. So Congress, wake up. President, please, will you please bring relief to our children? It's going to
let's
take
get her
2
done.
generations of the system not being in the system to start correcting the family values in this country again.
Yep. All right.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Have a good night,
Danielle, bring us
everybody.
backstage.
All right. Bye, everyone.
I feel an energy burn.